Editor-in-Chief of Filipino Soul, aka S.G.I.B magazine, that stands for Soldiers Got Intentions, Believedat, because everyone should be soldiering for something, a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. S.G.I.B, hip-hop, urban, raw, the truth, a photography magazine. Hip-hop because it recognizes the dominating force of music, urban because it's another product manifested from the street, raw because what you see is what you get, no second takes. The truth because it pays homage to Miss Vonney, Hilton Sweeney, and the Godfather soul, Mr. James Brown, and a photographer's magazine, because that's all I am, a simple photographer, a mediocre one at that. But right now we're at Blaze the Mic. We're packing up right now, and I got a chance to interview Kevin. Kevin is also one of the artists who performed tonight, but he's not your usual artist. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome.
Doing well, yourself?
Okay, good. Tell everybody what you do.
I'm a stand-up comedian.
A stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us more about you. How'd you get into being a comic? Who was the first one who said, you're a funny cat? How'd you get on the stage?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I think a lot of it's just the people you surround yourself with.
Okay.
You find yourself around people who are kind of more expressive. I think it kind of brings it out of you, and I think that's what a lot of it is. A lot of my friends, a lot of my family members that are not afraid to tell it like it is. I don't really hang around like passive-aggressive people.
Okay.
And myself included. I just don't think you get much done by doing that. And I've always liked being creative in general. I think I focused more, I know I focused more on writing before comedy, and I kind of figured, hey, I'll give this a go. And it's good, it's really competitive, and that competition, instead of it being intimidating, which it can be, it's more so motivating. So it's really fun being expressive and just seeing, oh, what can I throw out today? What could be? How can I give people a good time? That's what you're trying to do at the end of the day. Sure. A good time. Sure. So what got me into it is essentially I wanted to see where writing could take me. I wanted to execute on something, and I figured we're better than. I grew up in New York, so why not try it out in New York? And it's kind of just been that ever since.
Okay, so who are some of your favorite comics? There's so many, from Rodney Dangerfield, Jonathan Winters, Jerry Seinfeld, or Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah, Patrice O'Neill's up there.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. He's just because he's got originality. He's really not afraid to say stuff. And I think there's a quote where he said, "If half the audience is laughing and half the audience is terrified of what you're saying, you're kind of getting somewhere." I'm paraphrasing, but I've definitely said stuff that throws people off and it'll make people die laughing. And if there are 30 people in the audience, and I think 5 of them really dig it, and then half of them are like, "What the hell's going on?" I like that as opposed to, let's say, like a cheap laugh or something like that. So Patrice O'Neill's up there. I'd say Chappelle, Louis C.K. Even though he's gotten in trouble recently, maybe I shouldn't have said that in the interview. But I mean, he's hysterical. Yeah, funny's funny. Yeah, Dangerfield's up there. I just think anyone who goes out there and tries something original, you got to respect that. But yeah, those guys are probably my core.
You know what just came to my mind when you talked about counting 5 people? I remember once I interviewed B.B. King. You know B.B. King. He's a famous blues player, B.B. King. And I asked B.B. King once, I said, Mr. King, I said, today your picture's on the wall for the great blues players. In 20 years, it's going to be Kenny G or someone else. Your picture won't be up on the wall. How do you feel about that? And B.B. King said to me, he says, when I sit down and I play, he says, I count the number of black faces. He says, if I count 15, it's going to be a good night. And remember, B.B. King sold out to a full crowd. So I relate to that when you say you count, if 5 people are hysterical, then it's a good night. So, how old were you when you first did your first performance?
Comedy, this is my first year doing it, but I've been writing and performing on and off. A lot of it's been videos with friends or working on short stories, sketch comedy.
Do you submit your sketch comedies to some TV shows or other?
No, don't mean to cut you off.
No. But you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think
because most comics, I say that like who comes off the top of my head, Dave Chappelle or a lot of them come off writing for other shows like TV show Cohen show where they write jokes. Saying for another TV show or something like this. So that's why I asked if you were looking at that way or you just go headstrong into the business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put that stuff to the side, but I think a lot of it is I had more time when I was in college. I had loans, didn't have loans to pay at the time. Rent was much cheaper. And so I was able to work on more creative projects with people. And then with comedy, it's like making the time to meet up with people is very difficult. Everyone's kind of doing their own hustle. They'll go to a different mic. So that's why I got more into stand-up, where it's like, I don't depend on anyone but myself. And that's huge, because it is really hard to make the time. So sketch comedy is not something I'm trying to put to bed, but it's stand-up is what is consistently available, and it's a fun time. You really got to show yourself.
Do you have a favorite joke or something that or I know it'd be putting you on the spot, or I promise I will laugh.
And to be honest, that is a difficulty to do a joke that you normally want to do in front of a.
You got something about Trump? You know, you got.
What do I gotta say about Trump? It's.
Or yours is not political. It's more.
I don't do political. I try not to do political stuff because it's already like it just. I don't really plan out. Oh, I'm gonna write about this. I'm gonna write about that. If a thought comes to my mind and I think that's ridiculous, I either do a voice recording or I take a note and I go and type it. So I have no problem with doing a political joke, and I have done political jokes. But it's more so because it's like, well, what just comes into my mind and what's something that I think, oh, that's funny and clever, and I really don't tell a joke. I try not to. It's hard for me to tell a joke if I don't feel like telling it, and I feel like the audience knows when I'm like. I don't know, forcing it out as opposed to something that's naturally flowing, and that's what I really like doing with comedy is kind of getting the vibe of the audience. You know, I hardly knew what I was going to do before when I came out here, and a lot of what I did was kind of off the dome. And I like that style, but it's always you want to have the jokes that really you have a lot of fun doing and you're still in the works. That's at least where I'm at right now.
Well, you know, my publication is about people following their dreams and their goals, and you definitely fit that criteria. So what advice would you give someone about following their dreams and their goals?
It's exhausting, and you got to keep doing it. And a lot of days you don't want to do it, and that may sound like not romantic or a fun thing to hear. But I think that so much of what I want to do and I'm glad I've accomplished is because I've done stuff I didn't want to do. I mean, I live an hour and a half away from here from public transit. I did not want to come out tonight. I had a great time. I met great people, great networking opportunity, and just all around really talented artists. And I don't regret it at all. You don't regret the things that you know are going to make you better after it happens. You're gonna thank yourself later.
Okay, and where can people find you at, Kevin?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm not on social media much. It is k.s.a.p. Did I have it? I wrote it on a napkin earlier.
I thought it was in his pocket for where you can find him at.
Yeah, no, I had it written down.
That's a good joke.
Yeah, but you know what? I think you'll see me around. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I gotta get flowing more with social media, put stuff out on YouTube. But no, I really appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly and always pull someone up. And sometimes you may be the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. You living good today?
Absolutely.
But so am I. If you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of The Temptation, once sung, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man, make him feel like a king. And remember, I always love you more. Thanks, Jay, on the camera. Jay, thanks. It's always good seeing you, my brother. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
All right.